earlier than I said I would be, but I'm doing some technical stuff in the background, or at least trying to. So give me 1 second and I'll start chatting and all that. Okay. Oh, yay! Awesome! I was wondering how you were doing. Editing some behind the scenes stuff. I'm a little early yet. I'm trying to see if I can improve the quality of my streams by kind of learning more stuff behind the scenes. So we're trying to do some updates. Hi, how you doing? Today's agenda is to do my hair. So a while ago, I did a really long live stream. I want to say it was like 4 hours long, almost 4 hours long. And I was just like retwisting my hair. But I have a different strategy today, so I'm excited to show you guys that. How was your Easter? I know you mentioned that you were celebrating Easter, or you said Happy Easter, so I'm thinking you celebrated it. All right. I set the chat to subs only. I think that's going to make it easier to moderate because I am going to be needing my hands to do my hair. I'm okay. Moxie. That was my cat jumping on the kitchen counter where she knows she's not supposed to go. And she waited for me to leave the room to do that because she knows she's not supposed to jump on the kitchen counter. And I honestly would do all of this with the cats outside the room, but I knew they're just gonna like sit outside the door and yowl, and then I feel bad for them. So if you see cats running back and forth, I figured it was the least distracting way we could operate. So I've got some hair ties here. They're old, but the purpose of them is not so much for styling. I am tightening my hair today. I kind of haphazardly started tightening it before. I'm gonna do one in the front so you guys can see the process. Let me find one that needs to be tightened, just so you guys can see real quick what the mission is. So this is an interlocking tool, and this is used for the hairstyle that I have. I have locks. So essentially there's like a wider part on it and then a more narrow part on the end. So you put the hair in through the wider part and then slide it to the narrow part, and then you use this to loop your hair. And you do that many, many times. So I thought this is gonna be a good way to live stream because I'm gonna have to do this many, many times anyways. So I can check and see how you guys are doing. Catch up with how everyone's weekend went. Hopefully everyone's weekend went well. If you're trying to chat and you're realizing like you can't say anything, but you want to say something, please keep it polite, please keep it friendly. We're a positive community over here. But you need to subscribe. And then once you subscribe, give it like 5 minutes and then you'll be able to chat. So if you're trying to figure out what's going on and you didn't see that I set it to only subscribers, that's what's happening here. And this one's been tightened. And I just got to do that to my entire head of hair. I noticed that like with locks, like some of them are bigger than others. Like I feel like this one is thinner than this one. Low key. Not low key, low key. As promised, here are my cats. Here's one of them right here. Let me put his cat hammock down because I feel like that's a good way to keep him off of my lap. He has a little cat hammock. in the window. Once he goes in his cat hammock, then I don't have to worry about him jumping on me. Let me show. So once he goes up there, he will stop jumping on my lap, which is exactly what I want. There he goes. So right now, because I kind of started doing my hair kind of haphazardly last night, I have to kind of like feel through and check which parts are tightened and which aren't. And then once I figured that out, then it should be a lot faster. But now I'm kind of checking my work from yesterday. I don't even know why I started yesterday, but I was just like, you know, I feel like I would like a refresh. Another thing I've been thinking about is maybe I would like to color my hair, but I've heard a lot of people say like once you get locks, don't start like going crazy coloring it and stuff right away. But I feel like I could pull off like a cinnamony red. Okay, like not like fox red, not like fire engine red, but like a cinnamony color, you know? I feel like that would be a cool vibe. And I've seen a couple other people that did their hair that way, and I'm like, oh, it looks so pretty. It's tempting, but I think maybe I should be a little bit more patient. So what did I do over the weekend? This weekend I spent time with some friends. I actually spent time with some of my neighbors, which was cool, but like it's probably the most time I've ever spent with them. And like there's slight language and culture barrier, so I was a little bit nervous, but I feel like everyone did really well. I had fun, and I think they all did too. So I'm tentatively hoping we can do something like that again, because it was actually really, really fun, and I feel proud of myself for putting myself out there. Although like a lot of times I just like to hermit and just like, I don't know. Are you throwing up? Please don't throw up. Yo, I thought my cat was about to throw up on the blinds. And I was gonna be so upset. Oh no, please don't do that, Loki. But yeah, sometimes I just like to just stick to myself because, like, you know, if I have a lot going on and I feel like stressed by it, then I just like to, I don't know, sit in my own stress. But I think maybe it's good to, like, you know, get out and hang out. So I did that. I went to church for Easter, for Resurrection Sunday. That was nice. And then other than that, it was a pretty chill weekend. For some reason on Saturday night, I don't know if you guys saw me post like really, really late on Saturday night. And it was because like, I don't think I went to sleep until like 3 a.m. on Saturday. I was working on like a project, and I don't know, and I think I had coffee too. So that was part of the problem. But I ended up not going to sleep until like 3 a.m. on Saturday. So I basically stayed up until Resurrection Sunday. And then as I was working, I ended up realizing that one of my community members, World of Ragus, was live streaming on his channel. So I was able to hop over and join his live stream, which was so much fun. And I don't think I've said this before, but if you guys have channels and you want to share them with me, please feel free to do that. Don't be shy. I know I scold people that put random links into the chat, but that's because, like, I don't know if you've seen this before, but like if you go around like through YouTube and look at like different channels, if you watch enough YouTube, you'll see there's at least one big YouTuber, right, that has somebody in their chat section that's like, just WhatsApp me, and you're gonna have millions, WhatsApp me, and they'll be putting like weird links in their channel that didn't come from the actual channel owner. And I think it behooves people to check and like confirm that it's safe before clicking on things. I tell you guys a lot, be safe. This is the internet, you know. If I post something on the channel, it's typically like a link I got directly from Google, or it's like one of my pages, like my website or my Patreon or something. But yeah, sometimes people be putting random links on other people's channels that are like malicious, like bad juju. So be careful what you've clicked on. Look at this one, it's just sticking up. What is it doing? I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm trying to find like a continuous line that goes like all the way across for like how my hair is, but I'm struggling to do that. This is why you don't do your hair late in the middle of the night, because then you're trying to figure out what you did. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did over the weekend. It was a nice weekend. I spent time with my husband, which is always like my favorite thing ever. Literally. And honestly, it was pretty chill. So I'd say it was a good weekend, but fairly chill, other than my adventure hanging out with kind of some new friends. Or not new friends, but like kind of like my first time hanging out like extensively with somebody. I always feel nervous when I hang out with like a new group of people or like new friends. I'm not shy, but like I don't know, like sometimes you just don't know how the dynamic's gonna work or whatever. And then today I went for a little run, nothing crazy, way more chill than my marathon training runs. And by the end of it, I walked because I don't want to get super sore, and I haven't gone running in a long time. But spring has sprung here in Japan, and I'm telling you, it is so beautiful. There's like flowers everywhere. I tried to get some photos for you guys, but I don't think I got anything that was super amazing. I don't know. I have to keep collecting. I've posted some of the photos on Patreon, and I think there's one or two that I was supposed to post here, but I'll have to check and see if I posted. I posted like a photo flower gallery last week, though, so you can see some of the flowers I've already posted there. But it's so pretty. There's like orange and yellow and pink and purple everywhere, and I just love it. I love the spring. I don't like the cold. I'm tired of the winter. So I am just really enjoying the weather and like how pretty it is right now. So that was what made my little short run that I did so much fun earlier. I think at this point we've established kind of a line for where I stopped working. So now I have like the bottom part of my hair is pretty much already done. And then I have like 4 little like pom-pom things because my hair is very thick. And so I'm going to work on pom-pom number 4. So I'm taking it apart little by little and working my way through it. I think this weekend's video is the Anime Japan video. And doing my hair made me think of Anime Japan because before going to that convention, I dyed a wig. And I think I had dyed that same wig like many times. Like in the beginning, it was brown. Then I dyed it kind of like a pink color. And then I dyed it again to make it darker pink. And then I dyed it black to cosplay as Nico Robin. So I feel like she was looking a little tired. Not gonna lie, she was looking a little tired. I feel like this might be her, what do you call it when it's like the retirement of something? I'm thinking of the word inaugural, which is like the first, like the beginning of something. But I don't know, the opposite of that. She needs to, the Nico Robin wig needs to be in retirement now. But it was fun. there were some other people there that had some really cool costumes. There was a costume parade, which is like a whole bunch of different people in costume, like kind of like parading around. And I kind of think that was organized by the convention itself. But there's a girl there that was dressed as, if you guys have seen Arcane on Netflix, it's a little bit too violent for me. So I've been kind of like watching it in segments, and it's also very depressing to me because it just feels like how life can be. So I watch that show in small doses, and I don't really honestly think I'll ever finish it. But the character Powder from Arcane, this girl was like cosplayed as her, and I think she was one of my favorite cosplays there because she had like this long blue wig, and she had like little like capri pants and everything. Yeah, her costume was really cool. So I think I got like a shot of her too. That's what's coming out. I kind of think as it's starting to warm up, I'm gonna like trim Moxie's fur and like cut her fur really short. We did that last year. We kind of like gave her like a lion cut during the summer. And lion cuts are like where you kind of like give the cat like a full cut of like hair, like except for their head, so it looks like a mane. Hi. So I might trim her hair because she has really long fur. I don't know what you said at the end of your message, but it's nice to have you as part of the chat. Welcome. At the moment, we are just chatting while I'm doing my hair. So if you have anything you want to add or share, please let me know. It's just your chats. I'm not sure exactly what you said. So. But I appreciate you joining the chat. I'm good. How about you? How are you doing? What are you doing while you're watching the stream? What are you up to? Oh, thank you. That's a really kind compliment. Lately, when I do my hair like this, I have been doing it while doing something else, like working on my computer or something, so I'm not really looking at the process as I'm doing it. So it's slightly distracting to look at the process while I do it, because I don't know, it makes me think of like a different section as I'm doing this section, but I'm thinking about this section. Really? Thank you. Sometimes when I work on videos and I'm editing and I'm like listening to my own voice, it feels very weird to listen to my own voice talking. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if you ever like made like a video of yourself, a long video of yourself, not like a Snapchat or like an Instagram post. I don't really feel like that about those, but like for longer videos and it's just me talking and talking and talking, I'm like, do I really sound like that? I don't know if anybody else has the same feeling. I feel like that with the camera too. Like I feel more nervous with long videos than with live streams. But I think live streams has made me feel more confident and more comfortable making long videos. I've said this before, but it's also because like I feel like talking to you guys feels like now I know who I'm making the video for. Really? Yo! Recently, we just tried Sri Lankan food in Chiba. That was my first time ever trying Sri Lankan food. And I don't remember the dish, but it's in the video. It's in is. I'll put it in the link after this video. I'll share. I'll share the video in the comment section because I want to show you and see what you think. Do you have any recommendations for Sri Lankan dishes that I should try? I'll write them down. Because it was my first time trying it, and honestly, like, it was a really cool experience, so I kind of promised myself I'm gonna try more Sri Lankan food. Okay, that seems like it's pretty much done. This can take hours, but I think it also kind of depends on how fast you move. Like, if you don't get distracted and you, like, continuously interlock sections, you're good, but getting distracted or tired kind of slows down the process. I've noticed that if I make my hair too tight, it's a little uncomfortable afterwards. And I've also noticed that it makes it, if I make it really, really tight, sometimes it'll loop the hair up and it feels like, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like very coily, like at the base, like a tight coil, and that feels annoying. I'm from the US. That is where I'm from. But now, for right now, I live in Japan. Ooh. But I'm seriously thinking maybe I could go like a light red color. Like a red-brown color? I would definitely like to try that. I've seen a lot of people doing their hair in this way, using clips, and I have clips. But it's tricky to use clips to do it. Konnichiwa! O genki desu ka? You need help? With what? I don't know what that means. I'm not familiar. If you're just joining the chat and you're just you just started watching, it's subscribe only chat. So if you want to chat, you gotta subscribe and then maybe wait 5 minutes and then you can talk. And what we're doing right now is chatting while I do my hair, which is gonna take a while. Texas. Before coming to Japan, Texas. And actually, it was 2.5 years ago this month. So it's just over 2.5 years now. You like to be called what's Shiva? Am I saying that correctly? I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I think maybe in Japan it's popular to call, "Hi, Poppy! How you doing?" I think in Japan it's probably popular to call people by their last names, especially like if you know them like from work or something like that. But I know different people prefer different things. So if you have a way you prefer that I call you, Sanju. Did I say that right? I hope I did. Nice to meet you, Sanju. My name is Rebecca, but a lot of my friends call me Bex. The rapper Nelly is from Texas. I moved from San Antonio. That's where I used to live. Someone told you were pretty? That's a good thing. I'm glad they told you were pretty. Yay! I said your name right. Actually, I have a memo book where I write down my subscribers so they can be part of official channel history, if you guys don't mind. So let me write down, memo your names, because I don't think I ever did that. They said you were pretty, but then they, what? I think that's kind of a strange way to compliment somebody, you know? I think you should try and compliment people in a way that's like not, I don't know. But also I think some people don't always follow social cues. Like they don't really know the right way, you know? I'm memoing your name now. But I'm gonna memo that you like to be called Sanju. That's how you would rather be called. Typically speaking, like if you often join live streams, then I remember a little bit about you. But my memory is not perfect, so if I get something wrong, please remind me. I don't mind. And I want everyone to feel comfortable. And I'm memoing in kanji right now, which is a little bit tricky, but I want to do it the right way, as best I can. So give me 1 second and I'll start talking again. But if I write something down with kanji, it takes me a while because I don't know stroke order well, and I sometimes make mistakes. So I think if I move closer, you can see that this part's not fully tight yet, because I haven't done the top part yet. But I'm memoing and almost done memoing. This is the kanji I've written so far, but kanji is very slow for me. Let me hop. Oh, you gotta go? Oh, okay. I'll see you later. And don't mention it. I want everyone to be included. Because I pretty much only speak English. I speak a little bit of Japanese, but it's not perfect at all. I always appreciate everyone for being patient. If you have to speak in English to try and communicate with me, because I don't speak your language yet. So thank you everyone for being patient. I really do appreciate that a lot. Almost done. Last bit of kanji. Okay. どうですか? I tried to write. Here we go. All right, I'm caught back up in the chat. This part that I'm working on now is tricky because the end is kind of like big, so it doesn't fit well. Are you studying Japanese too? I'm curious. If you are, what are your study methods? Because I feel like I need to practice more. Lately, a lot of the Japanese that I learned recently is from listening to other people speaking. I think that's like a way I can learn new words. But lately I have not been like just sitting down with my book and studying. Hopefully I can do some of that on Wednesday. Because it does help a lot if you can like study. I'm going to tighten this one because it doesn't look like it's fully secure. I'm not really supposed to be bothering this one. This is an example of being slightly distracted. That feels weird. It feels like it caught like another part that wasn't supposed to go through. Okay, that was fairly fast. I think we're pretty much done with the one in the back. It's more or less been merged. I'm gonna save the very front for last, because I feel like once the front starts looking like it's done, I feel like I should be done. Okay. English is a little bit difficult. It probably makes it a little bit harder for chats too. Are you translating and then posting? This is one of those times when being multilingual would help. But like if you guys have watched a lot of my live streams, then you'll see my Japanese is probably like a 2-year-old. So I can do that up until a point. To study English, or for something else? Because it depends. I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the background. Kind of. The music is a trash truck. I'm sipping water because I feel like I will get tired if I don't. So the water is to keep me awake. Yes! It's for the trash truck. I don't know why they play music. Actually, I don't know where my cat went, but she's very afraid of the trash truck. So if she's like, I don't know, taking a nap and she hears it, she runs. She's very afraid of it. I agree. But I think it's kind of surprising it's for the trash truck. Why does the trash truck have music? I don't think all trash trucks here have music, but this area has a lot of trash trucks that play music. I'm trying to remember, does Tokyo have musical trash trucks? And I don't think so. But I also think it depends on what area you live in. But I don't think I've heard the musical trash trucks there. Oh, this one feels like it's too close to the other one. What's going on here? I'm gonna tuck these in. That's done. Your favorite music is? Who's your favorite musician? I think I made that one too tight. This one feels loose. Violin. When I was younger, I wanted to learn to play the violin. But unfortunately, I never learned. But I still really enjoy listening to it. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of lo-fi, to be honest. But I listen to different types of music when I'm making videos for YouTube because I try to pick music that matches the mood. You love classical music? Any favorites? Favorite musician you'd like to share? Let me combine these. Not me side questing while doing my hair. No, nope. I wish I can, but I don't know how to. What about you? Do you play the violin? Moxie! Guys, I gotta go get my cat. Moxie! I thought you were awfully quiet. I'm gonna make some tea too. I noticed that a lot of time had passed and I hadn't seen my cat. And once I started hearing those sounds, I realized she's in the kitchen, trying to climb into an open kitchen drawer. After I do my hair, I need to do her hair. I need to cut her hair. You definitely do not want me to sing. Unfortunately, I have not sang in many, many years, and I don't think it's probably my forte. If I was a good singer, I think that would be a way to boost my YouTube channel, because I've seen a lot of people like do song covers and stuff, and their YouTube grows and stuff. But I don't think I could do serious song covers. Maybe trolling once. But I don't think I'm that good of a singer. Can you sing? Let me get some tea. This is green tea. What do you sing? What type of music do you sing? Pop music, death metal, folk music, pop. What do you sing? There we go. Can you guys see the steam from the tea? I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes. Oh. That part's done. Hey, Moxie. Yeah, once I do my hair, she's next, because I need to cut her hair short. For some reason this year, the cats have been doing a lot of like over grooming. And I took Loki to the vet for it. No voice, but like singing. See, I think I'm the same way right now. Like, maybe if I practice, maybe if we practice, we can start, like, you know, singing, but, like, you know, for me, I used to sing a lot when I was younger, But then once I got older, I stopped singing, like kind of mid puberty, so as my voice was changing. So then, like, your little kids' voices are different than like adult voices, and so like as an adult woman, I didn't sing at all. And as a little kid, I did a lot of singing. So I feel like now, like, I don't think I know how to anymore, if that makes sense. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be very good, you know? But if it's somebody's birthday, I definitely sing their birthday. I sing birthday songs, you know. And you can't say it's your birthday today because that's not a loophole to get me to sing. But if it really is your birthday, then maybe I'll sing then. Try not to poke my head with this. Yeah, maybe for a birthday. Maybe. We'll see. Remind me when it's your birthday. Then maybe we can sing for your birthday. I think that would be fun to celebrate, like, birthdays for, like, community members, like, to celebrate your birthday on the channel somehow. But I feel like I don't want everybody posting their birthdays because then, like, I don't know, that's kind of like sensitive information. I don't know. Maybe we could do like birthdays of the month. Like on the channel, like if your birthday's in the month of April, we can collectively celebrate the birthdays like that. If you guys want like a birthday of the month post or something, let me know. It's coming along. It's coming along. It's hard to explain this process, but like when I've like gone over a section, I can feel if it's been, I don't know, tightened enough or not. So some of the ones that I've already done, I'll go back over them and I'll feel them and I'll be like, oh, it's not tight enough. Specifically like at the base, because, okay, so right here, how you can see it's like sections, and then like over here, right here, you can't really see its sections. Up here you can see its section, but like down here, it's not like individual squares like that. Does that make sense? So that's kind of how I can tell. That's like the closest I can do to like a visual example of how I can tell if it's tightened enough. So these ones need to be tightened next, but I don't want them to get mixed up, so I'm just gonna kind of scoop them over to the side. You know, I feel like in this community, on this channel, like I try to treat everybody like they're friends and family on this channel. But I feel like if you're posting something for a weird reason, you're kind of lurking towards block territory. So I don't know if that answers your question. Sri Lanka time is 8:13 a.m. So that means your day is just starting. What are you planning to do today? Work, school? What do you have planned? You're lurking into weird territory, my friend. That's what you need to do? Are you headed to work? Ace Wolf Peach? Is that what you're about to do? Go to work? No? Ooh, what are you making? I could definitely go for a meal right now. I think my tea's too hot to drink, so I'm gonna add some water. This is tea. I don't know if you can see it without spilling it. But it's green tea. I feel like I need the green tea because I'm kind of tired. I would love to visit the UK. Have you been? Have you been to the UK before? I can't tell if this is going faster or slower than I planned. To be honest, usually the drink of choice that I pick for the mornings is tea, because I've noticed that coffee sometimes makes my stomach hurt a little bit. Just European countries and North Africa, Middle East. Okay, what's your favorite place that you ever visited? Your number one favorite place. And why? It sounds like you are pretty well traveled. Really? Interesting. Why were those your favorite places? I think both of those locations sound like Mediterranean areas. So I've heard a lot about like Mediterranean countries and having really, really good food. But it sounds like maybe you went for more historical reasons. Usually when I go to a new city, like the first thing I like to do is try the food there. History is your thing. So you travel for more historical or like academic reasons, or you travel for like maybe like experience or trying to eat the different foods there, learn about the culture? Oh, okay. So are you basically like a digital nomad, or you travel more so for fun? I met somebody here in Japan, and she said she worked for like a Swedish company, but for their US location. So the company is a Swedish company, but she worked for their US site, but regardless, she was able to travel the world. And so I ended up running into her in like Osaka. And she said that she can work from anywhere in the world, which I thought was really cool. Oh, okay. So where are you originally from? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, okay. That is another place I've never been, but I know a couple people from there. But it sounds like you really like have gone from Kentucky to basically seeing a lot of the world at this point. I've been actually watching a lot of other travel content. 24 countries? Wow. That is amazing. That is so cool. So far, I've just been to 2. I've just been here in Japan and visited Korea. But there's so many other places I really want to visit. Do you still travel now, or you stopped for now? Not sure why you're asking that. But for me personally, there are so many different places I would love to travel to. Like, I have been really wanting to visit like the areas around Japan for a while. I am. I've been wanting to visit areas around Japan for a while. I've run into a lot of people from Australia here, and that kind of makes me curious about Australia. I've always liked Australia though. Rice, dried fish, curry, lentil curry. Okay. Sounds like you're making like a full meal. Where is that located? I'll make you memo. I have a memo for different places to visit. So, I'll look it up later. Okay. Thank you for the suggestion. I will look it up, I'll check it out. The places that that you suggest in the chat that are like far away, you have a wonderful day too. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hopefully you can chat again. The places that you guys suggest that are really far away, I may not be able to visit right away, but I take note of all of them. You know, there's a reason I haven't hiked Mount Fuji. And that's because there's a legend that like once you always continue coming back to Japan until you hike Mount Fuji. And then once I heard about the legend, that kind of became a little bit of a deterrent. Because I love Japan. So like if I don't know if the legend's true or not. I have to look it up, but I love Japan. So if it makes you stop coming to Japan, then I'm good. I'll have to check out what the legend says. I'll report back on the legend. But I've seen Mount Fuji many times and it's very, very beautiful. What? No way. Oh no, maybe it's true. See, I don't know about that now. I don't know. Sanju, you are a glove maker? Is that what your profession is? That is so cool. She lived there for 12 years. So when did she hike it? In the beginning? Or how did that work? See, that sounds like a deterrent to me. See how, like, I don't know if you've been watching for a while. In the beginning, this side was just with squares, and then now this side has squares too. You can see, like, that's how it's like, this side has started to be taking square-like shapes, just like this one. Really? Man. Let's keep things kind of neutral here. But it sounds like once she hiked Mount Fuji, she ended up leaving Japan and then not coming back ever again. I mean, it sounds like she went on to have a successful career, all things considered. But for me, I definitely feel like I will miss Japan, leaving it, because like it's a really cool place. Not just Tokyo, but sometimes like the countryside and like very relaxed, chill areas are really nice. For me, I just like the peacefulness of Japan, like honestly. And I feel like the small town areas, if you're into Ghibli, I'm like a huge Studio Ghibli fan. If you're into like Ghibli movies, it feels kind of like Ghibli, like the chill, fairy tale-ish type feeling. There's an area in Yamaguchi Prefecture that looked kind of like Howl's Moving Castle. Really? Is there a place you can do that? Pan for gold? That is really interesting. I didn't know that. Your service is 10 years. You have 10 years of experience in your profession? If you have a location that you suggest visiting for that, then please let me know, and I'll do some research. I've been suggested to go to the Fushi Inari shrine already. Someone suggested that, so that's on my list of places to check out. So I try and keep track of places that people recommend. So if you for your career to become a glove maker, how did you start? How did you learn to make gloves? Did you go to school, or how did that work? Ooh. That sound means it's afternoon time, officially afternoon time. Guys, in the beginning we had like 4 different sections of hair to work on, and now we just have 2 big ones left. So I think we're making progress. I'm gonna go back to this side real quick. It kind of feels random that there's 2 pom-poms on the top. Like usually I like wearing it side by side, so it feels like it's backwards or like sideways or something. It's like a different version of how I wear my hair often. I've kind of noticed here that like the flowers, going back to the flowers here, I've noticed that certain flowers like only bloom at certain times of day, and then like afterwards they like kind of like just close back up. And I've been noticing that with the poppies, which I think is so interesting because I didn't know that was a thing. In the dipping section. Does that mean you are responsible for color or insulation to keep them warm from like if someone's wearing them in the cold? Or I've never had that kind of career before, so I don't really know much about it. Now it is 12 something. 12:02 in the afternoon. So it's Monday afternoon in Japan. It must be Monday morning for you then. I'm trying to make sure that everything is neat once I finish looping it. This one might need to be tightened one more time. I actually watched several other people do this process. I saw other people do this process on YouTube, and I thought I would try it myself because I thought it was going to be good for my hair. But I was kind of nervous it's going to be very difficult, but it's not really difficult at all. Sunday night. It's still Sunday there? Is it late? It's already midday Monday here. I suggest labeling the boxes if you're still sorting through your stuff, because I find like when I move and I don't label the boxes, I get confused every single time on what's inside of it. I tried to... Oh, okay. That's not too bad. It's already midday here. but I feel tired as though it's nighttime. Cause I stayed up all night on Saturday. Actually, this morning I was gonna call my sister because I had some tea I want to spill, but then I couldn't get through to her. So I think one of the things I'm gonna do later on today is probably try and call my sister again, because I was gonna tell her some of the tea, which was part of why I ended up staying out late on Saturday, which was what made me think of my sister. I feel like it looks longer with it tightened. The areas around the edges, I want to make sure that they are even and they look tight and nice, because like those areas are going to be more noticeable. Really? Because I feel like in the video that I did, like the long video that I did on this channel about my hair being in locks, it actually looked like I had cut it almost. But now it's like it kind of, I don't know, it picks and chooses. I also feel like my hair, this might sound weird, but I feel like my hair is more water resistant this way because of this style. What was that? I feel like everybody around me, like all of the people around this area, are like all trying to like leave their house and do different tasks, and one of the neighbors is like cutting back the bushes in their yard because now that it's not freezing cold outside, like all of that yard work or like gardening or whatever it is that you want it to do, the weather's nice enough to do that. I feel like this stream has also already gone longer than my usual streams, a little bit, but I just want to finish this, you know, and I think I can. I think I need maybe, I don't know, maybe another hour, and I could be done. I don't know. I think it also depends on how much of a perfectionist I am. Because if I keep on going over the same area, trying to make it look a certain way, like going over the edges, I should probably go ahead and check in here. How's this? I could probably tighten this one more time. This one, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave that alone for the moment. I don't know. Let's focus. And by let's focus, I mean specifically me. I need to focus. Going through and bothering areas that don't need to be bothered. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome back to the chat. Okay, you have to go to work? Well, I hope you have a very good day at work and that your entire workday goes by quickly and smoothly. Please have a good day. A shopping list? What you shopping for? We'll just try and go through this whole row without messing it up. I definitely feel like my hair is getting longer, but I would say more so than longer even. The main thing I'm noticing is it seems thicker. I was watching YouTube this morning and I was like, man, I caught up on all my favorite YouTubers and now I have to wait for them to make more content. How disappointing. I watched everything already. I need to be editing. Jersey store that's clothing. I try to get what I need there because it will be cheap. Sounds like a plan to me. When I went to the oldest hotel in the world and I was driving home, I stopped by this like shopping area and they had kimono styled cardigans. It's hard to explain, but like they were sweaters, but they were made in like a kimono style, like shape. I've never seen anything like that before, and I really regret not buying one. And so now I'm kind of like, well, maybe I can find one at like a thrift store or something. Sounds like a trip to Shimokitazawa in Tokyo. Usually I'm not like a shopaholic or anything like that, like when it comes to like shopping for clothes and stuff. But I feel like that's because I try and like conserve money for travel, you know? But I feel like if I had like oodles of money to just like spend on whatever, I would definitely go all out, probably. I don't know. I say that, but then I also like don't like things to get cluttered. I don't know about fun though. Sometimes you see something and you're like, oh, this is so nice. So, like, I really like this one thing. But like being in the store and then you have to look around, find what you like, wait in line, use your hard-earned money. Maybe I'm too miserly to have much shopping. Like, what's his face? Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. You're spending all me money. I don't really think Mr. Krabs is a good role model though. He's not a good financial role model. But then again, I feel like SpongeBob as an employee is not somebody who's thinking about conserving anything to keep costs down. What happened? Why the ugh? Oh no! Did it fall while you were moving, or what happened? So it's done. Can hear a sound behind me, and I think it's my cat snoring. She snores sometimes. But I don't think she's snoring loud enough for you to hear. But I can hear her. At this point, I just gotta go through each one line. This is why people clip their hair when they do this though. Because I'm trying not to, the part that I pushed over to the front, I'm trying not to blend it with the ones that I'm working on. Because if you loop the hair through the wrong section, it's gonna kind of create like tangles, kind of. I've done it at least once where I did it like I like looped one to the one below it, and I was really struggling to fix it. And I had a second one, like, am I gonna have to cut my hair? Like, what the heck? But I was able to fix it. If you ever do that and you're interlocking your hair, just stay calm. Take a breath, take a breather or something before you try and fix it. Like, don't try and fix it while you're panicked. The base is weighted, it kept it steady, but it was made of something like plaster. Oh, it cracked. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your lamp broke. Do you think there's a way to fix it? To be honest, if you're doing your hair and you're doing like the interlocks and like you somehow lock the two like wrong parts together, my recommendation is to try to retrace your steps. Like when you're tying your shoes, once you've tied them, you've tightened them. But if you want to like unloop them or whatever, you have to just like pull the string and make it go the other direction. It's kind of like that with this. Aww. Hopefully if you can't salvage it, you can get another one soon. But I'm very sorry it broke. Alright. Restroom break, guys. I will leave you in the kind care of my cat, Moxie. Moxie, look out for everyone. I'll be back. Stay off the counter. Moxie, how was everyone? It was old. Well, I'm still sorry it broke. Let me move over so Moxie can co-host. Where did I put? Okay, here it is. We're back. Moxie, can you see? Yeah, that's my co-host Moxie over there. And Loki would co-host, but he's on his cat hammock, which is mainly to keep him out of my lap because that's what he likes to do. How is she yawning so much? Are you licking your leg? I'm about to put the flour on you. Yep. Put the flour on. Let me see. Come here. She doesn't like the flour. There we go. She has a spot where she has over-groomed her leg. And she created like a little sore there. So I don't want her licking her leg. So she's wearing the flour. I think both of the cats seem like they're a little bit itchy. And I'm wondering if it's because of the season change. Because this spring, it was cold. Then it suddenly got kind of hot. Then it got really cold again. Like back to winter cold. And I'm wondering if it impacted the way that they're shedding and stuff like that, which caused them to have like extra hair underneath. But at the moment, it seems like they're both healthy, just a little bit itchy. So that's why I was saying after me next is Moxie and Loki. Loki's just gonna get a deep brush. He's doing a lot better with his grooming. Like over grooming. The vet said he's fine. He just does a lot of licking. And then Moxie is gonna get a haircut. But yeah, she's caused like a little sore on her leg, which I just found recently. So now the flour has gone from Loki to Moxie. Close enough. You know how like when you have to like make a phone call, like a professional phone call, and you're like kind of like dreading it, like you don't really want to do it, and it's like I don't know, I feel like it's something that I've seen like kind of more recently on social media, like people talking about how they really don't want to make phone calls even though they're grown-ups. I usually don't really feel like that, like I don't mind if I need to get something done, but today I need to make a phone call which will probably predominantly be in Japanese, and I'm kind of nervous for that, to be honest. Maybe I can sneak in starting to do the front a little bit. The nice thing about doing this is once it's done for a while. So I won't have to worry about this for a couple of weeks. I won't have to worry about tightening my hair for a couple of weeks. So that's nice. Okay, we're gonna do this one. We're definitely making progress. It just takes a while. But like in the beginning when we had like 4 different sections, we've definitely, I don't know, got more than half of it done. So I feel like that's kind of a win. I knew this was going to take a little bit of a while when I started though. So kind of to be expected, to be honest. It feels different when it's been tightened, so kind of playing with it. I feel like, honestly, I wouldn't mind taking a nap after this. But I need to make a phone call that's kind of important. And I need to trim Moxie's hair. Part of the reason I'm doing my hair first and not Moxie's hair first is that Moxie, I feel like, is going to be time consuming. So it's probably not going to be a one day project. I feel like Moxie is gonna be like, maybe today just do like a scissor trim, and then later on in the week do like a full shave down. But I feel like Moxie is going to be time consuming. It's not going to be a 1 day project. This I can definitely get done in a couple hours if I just like sit down and get it done. I was thinking the video that I posted, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the short that I posted, where I asked everybody like a pop quiz trivia question. I think maybe I told everyone the answer too soon. So I feel like maybe next time I do like a pop quiz like trivia video, I will like wait to tell you guys. I think that might be more fun for everyone because I feel like I kind of spoiled it by telling the answer too soon. But the funny thing is, like, in the beginning, it was most people were voting for the wrong answer. But there's like a persistent group of people that kept on being like, no, 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 no. I'm sure this is Fukushima. And they were voting for Fukushima. But everybody else was voting for Saitama. And then it kept going to tied. And then by the time I gave the answer, I think it was a tie, or like mostly people thought it was Saitama. But now people are still voting even though I told the answer. And now it's like 70% Fukushima and like 30-something% Saitama. So I'm like, maybe I should have just waited to tell you guys the answer a little bit longer. I think a lot of the people that answered the correct answer were very confident in their answer. Like, they kind of already knew. Like, they weren't guessing. And then maybe everybody else was guessing. I don't know. But I want to give everybody kind of enough time to, like, put in their vote or think about it if they want to think about it. So maybe I'll do, I don't know, if I do a trivia on Saturday, I'll give everybody a week. So like if I did one this Saturday, give everybody until next Saturday. I don't know. Maybe something like that. That's what I'm kind of thinking. My arms are starting to get tired. I feel like if I can just push through this last section right here, then the rest of it will be fast. Because the front always feels faster because it feels like the finishing touches. But then like in between that, it's just like, oh, it's still going. We're still not done. But I also think I'm a little bit impatient, so there's that. Because I know it takes a while to do my hair either way, so that's what we gotta do. Just hang out and wait till it's done. if I, like when my hair was loose before I started locks, I would say this portion of my hair is the most challenging part. For two reasons. One, it's like especially thick. And two, it's kind of like always like the middle or last part that I do. Like it's not, I usually wouldn't start doing the kind of top, middle, the back of my head before anything else, you know? I would do like towards my neck and then work my way up. So by the time I get to this section, I'm already usually kind of tired, and then it's like thicker, so it makes it even more challenging. But it's fine. We are persisting anyways. We're continuing despite the fact that it is more thick. And we're making some progress, so it's fine. I think the direction in which you tighten your hair when you have locks kind of makes a difference. Because if you tighten it in a certain direction, it kind of sticks up that way, depending on what you did. So you kind of have to pay attention to which direction you tightened your hair into. That one doesn't really need to be tightened that much. We'll just do one. Guys, I am really strongly wanting a nap at the moment. This one's at kind of a weird angle, so I think I'm going to tighten it sideways. Part of the reason I know I'm still in the beginning phase of having locks, and also that this is my first time doing them, is like, see, this one is kind of like puffy. Like, and then let me find one that's not. That's not puffy at all. That's kind of already done. This one is kind of like pretty even all the way through. It's just like one line. The one that's kind of like more like one line, that one's kind of like more mature than the other one. And the ones that are not yet matured are harder to work with. And that's part of why I don't want to dye my hair now. Because I feel like the ones that are still in a more fragile state, I don't want to like mess with their progress. Yeah, these two are definitely in need of being tightened. You know how sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, this is going to be a really nice day? I feel like I had that feeling today. Like the sun came up early. It's been sunny all day, barely a cloud in sight. Pretty close to my house, there's an area where you can see Mount Fuji. So when I went for my little run, I was enjoying looking at Mount Fuji. I actually, while I was doing my run, I almost got hit by a car. Like it was very, very close, very, very close call. But it was interesting because like the area where I went is like a trail that's kind of like off the main road. It's like kind of like a more countryside area, and this person was just like blazing through. And I don't know if they were not paying attention or what they were doing, but I was like, that's a little bit of a close call to me. You can kind of tell who lives in this area and who doesn't, kind of based on the way that they drive. And I'm thinking maybe that person doesn't live in this area, so they're just racing through the roads, the narrow roads here, not realizing that some of them become more and more narrow, and you have to watch out for pedestrians. I don't know, but that kind of startled me. I'm like, oh, girl, you almost hit me with your car. Sometimes if the sections are too close together between retwist or interlocking, they start to gravitate towards each other and like merge, but they're not really supposed to be merged. So I'm trying to fix a section that's like that right now. It's not really supposed to be connected with the one next to it, but it's kind of started to do that regardless, which I don't want. Guys, we're almost at 2 hours now. Yay! We're making progress though. Alright. I think I'm gonna do this. I am going to, because I know once I get to the front it's going to be fast, and I feel like we're close enough to the front where I can kind of get away with doing this. We're going to split this part and do this. Because the front, I can kind of take stock of how I want it to lay and move accordingly. Do we need one tighten here? I feel like it's already kind of tight. I don't know. I don't want to. See, the thing is, like, when you tighten your hair and then, like, make it overly tight, I feel like you kind of are risking your hair breaking. Or, like, pulling your hair out by mistake. Kind of like if you put your hair in a ponytail and then you put it so tight, like it's like giving you a headache. Like that is how you are going to be losing hairs. And I'm not trying to do that. We're almost at 2 hours, guys. I'm operating at this point based on determination. Because we're almost done, you know? I want to finish the mission we started. I think this section would be helpful to have a clip. And I have clips. I just don't feel like getting up to get one, so we're gonna be clipless this time. I think this one can be tightened again. I don't want to have done my hair and then later on in the week be trying to style my hair or something and then find like a spot where it's like, man, I didn't even tighten this area. What happened here, you know? I don't want to deal with it, so I would rather go over it multiple times. This one seems like it's kind of coming apart, which we do not want. Some of them just don't want to stay together. Most of them seem like they've accepted their fate, but this one just... We were buffering for a second. So at this point, this side, this is like still in the very front. So I'm trying to like be careful to make everything neat, since it's gonna be in the very front. And once I've pulled it through, sometimes I like to kind of press it, because it doesn't always loop 100%. Like, it'll loop, but it'll still kind of be bubbled a little bit, if that makes sense. And then you just gotta press on it, and it'll stay put. See, here's an example where it's looped, but it's like looped through. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. Once I've looped it through, I can also kind of see it taking shape. See how you can kind of see more clearly the different sections here at the part that's already done, and then this part kind of looks more blended or fuzzy, I guess. So that's kind of part of how I can tell. Guys, I'm really wanting to do a cinnamony color with my hair. The temptation is real. If one of these days I just come back and my hair is cinnamony, the intrusive thoughts won. Because I feel it's about to be spring and summer. It's going to be warm. Maybe it wouldn't hurt. A little color. So, at this point, I'm kind of going over it to not only tighten these parts, but also to shape it. Because once it's been freshly tightened, it's gonna kind of lay the way that I pulled it. So these last, 4, 5 pieces, I'm not just focusing on putting them, making them tighter, but I'm also focused on making them lay in a way that's neat. Go through. This one seems like it's loosened, so I'm gonna try and fix that. The only reason why I'm including the kind of twisting motion that I just did as part of my hair care for this hairstyle is because my hair is kind of newly locked. I think once it's been locked for longer, I won't have to do the twisting motion. But now, I still do, because it's fairly new. And some of them come unraveled. This section I'm working on right now is kind of weird, because I needed to find a good spot to put the hair through, and it's tricky to do that. What we got going on here? Loop it all the way through. This one's just sticking up in the middle of my head, so I know it's not been done. What do we got going on here? You two. This one doesn't seem like it wants to tighten. It's doing some sort of weird twisty thing, but it's not actually tightening. So I'm gonna go from the sides. I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but that's what I do. Because I notice if I don't go from the sides and I just keep going over it and over it, when it doesn't seem like it wants to tighten, it kind of becomes uncomfortable, like later. Like the little section, like where it's been tightened at the base, it kind of like feels like itchy, or I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. If you have locks, then you understand, and if you don't have locks, then that's the best I can explain. Checking this. Should I tighten it one more time or leave it alone? I think I'm gonna leave everything in the front alone. Because the thing is, I would rather it be looser. Like I could have tightened it one more time, or I could have tightened it and I didn't. I think it's safer to have that situation than to make it overly tight. To where like you really, really should have stopped where you were headed, but you just kept on going. Because I think the problem with making it overly tight is you risk, one, breaking your hair and your hair falling off. Two, you risk like pulling out hair from like the root. And three, I feel like it's gonna be like less comfortable, so. Cause like maybe for the first couple of days that my hair's been tightened, it's gonna be maybe a little uncomfortable on some of them. Doesn't really hurt to me, but I feel like it makes my hair like maybe more stiff. Like at the base where I tightened it. And if I made it way too stiff and way too tight, like this one, I feel like this is as tight as it should go. I cannot anything further on this one. And you can kind of tell for this one versus this one. Like this one, I probably could put it through one more time, but I don't want to do that. Something about the way this one's set up, it just seems risky. And this one, that's as tight as it can go. Like, anything else is definitely risking hair breaking. And I'm not trying to do that today. This one's kind of like, actually, let me show you. This one's actually kind of like how the ones that need to be tightened are. Because I'm tightening them, like, I don't know what, every 3 weeks? Every 4 weeks? Something like that. I'm not keeping exact track, but like I'm kind of like doing it based on like when I feel like they need to be tightened. But I would say it's approximately every 3 to 4 weeks at this point. But I know some people don't do that. Like they leave their hair longer than 3 to 4 weeks. And I think it kind of depends on preference. But I've heard some people say if you're gonna do one or the other, it's better to leave your hair alone than to like overly do it. Does that make sense? It's better to be late to tightening your hair than to tighten your hair like every day or something when it doesn't need to be. But I like the aesthetics after it's just been tightened. I feel like it looks really neat. So I do like that. But I'm not trying to put my hair into a compromising situation where I'm like breaking it from tightening it too much. So I'm trying to keep it balanced. Okay. I feel like this last section is probably going to take me 30 or 40 minutes to do. And after that, I'll be done. But honestly, right now, the struggle is feeling sleepy. Because sitting still after doing a short run earlier is really making me just like think about, man, I stayed up all night on Saturday. Like, I got a little bit of sleep afterwards, like maybe 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. Probably at least 3 hours, but not enough for me. I need more sleep than that. So I'm definitely feeling tired. Let me loop this through. So this one. The ones in the front, I'm trying to be a little bit more cognizant of the way that I tighten them so that they lay down. That, or the one I just did, I followed kind of like the way the hair was growing. But I feel like it might be annoying, like directly in my face like that. I don't know, we'll see. This is an example of why I like to save the front for last. Because now the very front is done, I think, for the most part. I mean, I could kind of touch up the underside of this side a little bit more, but I don't know if I'm going to do it because it seems like it's already kind of tightened a little bit. But this area that I'm working on right now is kind of like a little bit behind the main front part, and I'm just like over it because the front's done. But the other side went really fast, so maybe the side will too. This feels already tightened, so that's not bad. So get in and do this row. There's like little rows in there, but I also, after I'm done doing this, I need to clarify my hair. So I'm gonna clarify it, like do a clarifying wash. But I wanted to tighten it first. But I don't think I'm gonna do the clarifying wash today, because I've just washed it not too long ago, so it should be alright. We need this part to be even. I feel like once my hair grows enough to be like in bob mode, like it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Because I feel like that is going to be so much fun. So much fun to style and like play around with. I actually am not minding the slightly shorter do too much. But I do like having it kind of like in a bob at least. So I'm excited for it to grow a little bit more. And I think I over tightened one of those. I just did. I really need to stay awake because I need to finish doing this. And I really want to call my sister afterwards. I don't know if she's still going to be awake, but I need to call my sister. Because I got some tea. Got some tea I need to spill. There's two over here that definitely need a lot more tightening. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's like really grown out. So it definitely needs to be tightened. Okay, that feels mostly done. This is definitely, like, I wouldn't say it's the fastest hairstyle ever to do, but I'd say this time is definitely way faster than the first time I did this, and it's definitely way faster than when I did the retwist that I did. So I think overall, as far as maintenance is concerned, this is way, way better for me. But I know some people really like retwist, so. Like, you know, you do you, whatever makes your hair feel the best, but for me, I think interlocking is the way to go. At least at this stage. I'm absolutely loving it. Trying to set this up so the hair doesn't stick straight up on the top of my head. I mean, it will be interesting, but not quite the look I'm going for. Alright. That's done. Guys, we're literally almost done here. It's done. I don't know why, but Wife by G Idol is stuck in my head. If you've heard the song, you know what I'm talking about, but there's a part of a song where it's like she says something about like cook cream soup or cook clean soup. I don't know what she's talking about. And I think that a lot of the criticism for that song, or like feedback they got for that song, was that people were not really sure where they were going with the narrative. But regardless, the song is catchy and it's stuck in my head. Nope, nope. Since I don't have hair clips right now, I need to watch out to not grab from the wrong section and combine that. My cat just came closer in the background. Hey, Moxie. You can't see her, but she's like off to the side. Everybody's napping but me. Both my cats are sleeping. Well, Moxie's kind of dozing, but Loki's knocked out. He's actually curled up in a ball, and he's put his tail under his head and turned his head upside down. He's like gone. This one still needs to be tightened. I think it's pretty much starting to look done now, but there's certain sections that are not fully tightened yet. Loki is so cute. He's like sleeping on the hammock, but his tail is like hanging out of the hammock and like wrapped up under him. And it's so cute. Is this one the wrong direction? It looks like it is. Okay, this is more or less pretty much done. So I just need to go through and check. Did I put this in the wrong direction? No. To check in here. Should I tighten any of these? Maybe this one I could tighten. Where did it go? Not that one. This one. Only gonna do one. One loop. There. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm checking to see if I can feel any loose areas, but see how like it's like much more like there's like individual like boxes where it's done. That is pretty much what I am going for. So yeah, more or less we pretty much finished tightening everything. It took us a little bit less time than I thought. So next project is grooming my cats. So I'm going to sign off and do that and probably do some other chores around the house. Thank you for hanging out with me and keeping me company. And if you haven't subscribed and you've been hanging out this whole time, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.